Alright, good morning folks. Okay, we've got to address a few issues. Since I had both of these latches and both the hatches working with the latches and the locks and everything, and as soon as I put the rubber on it all changes. Neither of them actually worked anymore. I did manage to get the front one working. However, that's likely to change again too, because I'm not happy with the way it's sitting up. Not too bad on this side, but it's about probably 2 mil higher than I'd like it. However, yeah, I can live with that. That'll be all right. When you get the other side, probably see it from here, it's like 6 mil, quarter inch too high. So I was thinking that it was just the rubber was too thick, but I mean it squashes down. The rubber squashes down, and it's not pulling it down to where it needs to go. So the rubber itself is not the issue. Not only that, I had the same size rubber, just a short piece running across here when I finished these off, and I made them fit level with the rubber in. So the rubber across the top there is not the issue. However, this corner isn't fitting. So you can see I've drawn a line there, so I may well be cutting it, pulling up, re-welding it. Because so this side's just, if this side was the same as the other side, just a couple mil higher, I'd leave it. But yeah, that's too much. And so the other issue too, the reason why it's not pulling down now, is so this is almost hitting at the front now. It wouldn't pull down at all. I don't know why it changed, because that was, as I said, it was all fitting before I put the rubber on, before I painted it. So yeah, it's really rather annoying, because I did try to avoid having issues like this, you know. As I said, I finished it off with bits of rubber in it, and it should have worked, but it's not. So yes, looks like I'm going to be cutting right along the front here too. Cutting it, pulling it back in, re-welding all the way along. But anyway, that's not going to happen for at least a few weeks, not till I can afford a bottle of gas, so I'm not going to even attempt to do that with a flux core. So yeah, anyway, in the meantime, rubber's in there. I haven't got the key with me to unlock it, but yeah, I did do a fair bit of adjustment. What I actually had to do was with the lock off, and you can chip paint off here. I mean, no, it doesn't really matter. I've got to cut, re-weld, repaint underneath along the front here anyway, so I'll repaint that at the same time. But yeah, I've had to bore out the holes, bore them down like a good quarter inch, that one and that one, so that the whole lock mechanism could come down further. And yeah, that's the only way I could get it the latch to work. But anyway, it is working now. It's fine for the moment. When I get some gas, I'll revisit this whole thing. But yeah, it's sealed up enough so that it's not going to be an issue to put it out in the weather in the meantime, or even use it if I choose to. The back, it's been a different issue altogether, other than the rubber not sticking. This is cheap Bunnings rubber. Rubber sells fine, but the adhesive shit. So I could get, you know, what I've used before, I've got from Rare Spares, what I use on the panel, and never had an issue with it. But this rubber at Rare Spares is $13 a metre. Yeah, you times that by 7, you know, that's nearly $100 just for the rubber. Didn't have it. Whereas this stuff from Bunnings yeah, it was $12 for a packet of 3 metres, and because 3 metres wasn't long enough in the front, I had to buy 3 packs, but you know, I had to also buy some Loctite rubber glue, join it together on the front one, join the two together, but yeah, as I said, it's just not sticking. It's just, you close this, yeah, and of course the tailgate's pulling against it, that's what it does. It just unsticks it, pulls it off. So, and I've looked up, you can buy this, double-sided tape. It's actually just pulled apart, so it hasn't totally separated from the rubber. It's the adhesive strip itself is separated, and it's sort of fibrous or something, I don't know, but yeah. But of course you can buy the adhesive tape, but that's not cheap either. The prices vary. You know, you want to get the good stuff, the 3M stuff, you know. By the time I get enough of it to go all the way around this whole thing again. Although the front seems to be staying put. Yeah, I suppose mainly the back, but yeah, the good quality 3M stuff's like $32 for a couple of metres. I don't really want to pay that either. There is cheaper stuff. You can get like a 4 metre pack of a different brand for around $12. I think that's super cheap. But I'm thinking, well, do I really need to do it in that way? You know, once it's on, it's not coming off again. So I'm thinking now to get like a tube, like a caulking tube type glue of some kind, but it'd want to be black. Like you wouldn't like use liquid nails or something that's a brownie colour, because yeah, you don't want it to be visible. It wants to, you know, blend into the rubber. So, but anyway, there should be some sort of a, you know, Sikaflex type glue that'll work on that, the strong adhesive. So that's what I'm going to be looking for next. But anyway, in the meantime, as I said, I'll be revisiting this, yeah, a few weeks down the track. In the moment, I can put tape on it like I had on the previous one, just tape it back on and keep it in place for now. But the issue is yeah, the latch is just not working. And that's what I've done. This is the original latch. There's 2 issues with it. One is that it's just too flimsy, and the whole panel just flexes up and down, and so, and it really needs to be adjustable, you know. Like I was fiddle farting around, and I eventually got it so it'd latch, but then it was loose. It wasn't pushing the rubber in, so I tried to bend it back in, and I couldn't get it to latch again. And then I thought, okay, I'm taking that bit off. Done. Right, just drilled. It's just 3 spot welds, only little too. I used a 1/8 drill, and then I drilled through the top part just with a 5mm. So yeah, that's sort of minimal. And come up now, I'll just welded this. It's with this shit flux core wire again. This is probably still hot. See if I can get it off. Right. So this is what I've come up with, and I'm going for a very, well, this is probably a 5mm thick or something. And I've gone with heavy stuff like this because I intend to tap a thread into that. So this will be sitting like this. It's going to go underneath, and yeah, I'll put a couple of screws down into the wood floor to hold it. Like, it's not really going to pull up. Yeah, I suppose it could. But anyway, as I said, I'll screw it to the floor. I don't know at the moment. Yeah, it is cool enough to touch. Whether I can put bolts right through. I think. Oh yeah, actually there is enough room. Yeah, alright, I won't screw it, I'll put bolts right through. Yeah, bolt right through, so that'll be bolted to the floor, I won't be able to move. I'll drill through here, tap threads into this piece. It is a bit odd actually, after I clean it up. And I've got this here, which is a chain link. And I've got some other plate here. This was a bit bent up. I could have cut something out of another bit, but yeah, I got the fire going, so I just stuck it in the fire, heated it up, flattened it out. But that will basically go, I'll weld that onto there, like so. And I'll probably flange it actually. Put a couple, or just, I'll probably just flange it with the welder actually, just run down and across, just to give it strength so I can't move, pull up or anything. Probably the good idea actually would be to drill it, whether I've got enough height to do that. But yeah, drill it and push it through and weld it through from the other side, and then weld on top as well, make sure it's not going to come off. But yeah, so this plate will now be going onto here, put that on there, and I'll be actually, hopefully I've got enough room. Oh yeah, just okay. So the plate will be going like that. Plate will be actually slotted, like, won't be slotted a lot. It'll be like I'll be using 6mm bolts. So yeah, 6.5mm drill side by side. So it'll basically, the slot will only be 13-14mm wide, half an inch, a bit more than half inch wide slot. So yeah, it'll have, well, it won't have half an inch adjustment, but it'll have a little bit, 10mm of adjustment backwards and forwards. See, and that's where the adjustment needs to be on it. Now it's not up and down, but you get the up and down at the right height, and that can vary a little bit as well, because so when you look at the latch, there's plenty of room, as long as it's not too low. It can be a little bit higher and it'll still work fine. It'll be like that actually. So yeah, the height is going to be like that. So we've got quite a bit of height variation, and it'll still work. So yeah. So yeah, as I said, the height will actually be set, but I'll be able to adjust it in and out. So anyway, so that's what I'm working on now, and as soon as that's done, it's out of the shed. I'm over it for the moment. I've got other things I've got to get me forward in here. I've got to get the bug in here. I ran 2 new fuel lines. One was just too big, it was causing a problem. The main fuel line was about, I think it was an 8mm, and I've got a 6mm as a return line. But anyway, I had the two taped together, and I pulled the main fuel line out and just ran it back through the original line, even though I was a bit sort of doubtful as to how long it'll last. But yeah, it has to be rusty. But, and just, yeah, as I left the return line that I've put in for the Weber carby to stop it flooding. And but yeah, since doing that, that fuel line's rattling up and down. It's hitting the gear shift, and yeah, it's getting rather annoying. I said it was fine before I tried to pull the second one back out again, but I've disturbed it also. Yeah, that's the next project for today, is get the bug in here, and I'm going to sort out this fuel line, stop it rattling. Anyway, just a little update, you know. These you think you're done with something, and then next part just causes a whole lot of issues. So, yeah. And I will get around to painting the underside of this sooner or later. But and that can be done on there. Just throw a sheet over. It's only brush paint anyway, so yeah, no issue. All right. Thanks for watching again. Bye.